is a yarn shop here in Montgomery, Texas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm very happy to announce I think this is episode 49. That means next one will be episode 50 because that's how numbers work. And I can't believe we've been doing this. I say we. I always say we. It's just me, but that's okay. Every now and then you'll see Josh on here, which I say every now and then, but it was really just one time. I have not actually had that much coffee this morning, but I sound like it. Anyway, we're about to hit 50 episodes, and I'm so grateful and thankful to each one of you guys who take the time to take a peek and watch and have subscribed and have liked, commented on the videos. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so very much. It's just been a busy morning. It really hasn't, but it's felt like it because it was not my normal routine. Normally, I get up, I go work out at Orange Theory because I love Orange Theory. Get cleaned up, get ready, come on over to the shop, and usually stop for coffee on the way. But this morning, I took a rest day because tomorrow, if you're familiar with Orange Theory at all, you know that tomorrow is the big dry tri, which stands for dry triathlon. Normally a triathlon would be swimming, biking, right? Yeah, I think. Swim, bike, and run. Maybe that's an Ironman. I don't know, because I don't do those. I do the Orange Theory Dry Tri, which is rowing 2,000 meters, because I'm going to do the full. Rowing 2,000 meters, doing 300 body weight exercises, which I'm sure have push-ups and burpees and other awful things, and then running a 5K on the treadmill, which is 3.1 miles, in under an hour. So, I took this morning off. I was able to get some stuff done at the house. Had a little tiny bit of a leisurely morning. Not really, but then I had to come in and film the podcast because I meant to film it yesterday, but time got away from me and I wasn't able to. So, I should be putting this up same day. Fingers crossed that YouTube will let me upload it in a timely fashion and you're actually going to see this on Friday like I normally like to put my podcast up. And really none of that had to do with knitting or yarn. So, let's get into what actually we talk about on the podcast, which is fun yarn goodness. I have no new finished objects this week. But I did have 2 last week, so I feel that kind of made up for it. But I am getting closer to being finished on a couple other ones. So, well, really just one. I brought 3 of my current works in progress with me. I did not bring my Little Garden by Yunko Otomoto because I have made 0 progress on it. It's a wonderful pattern, and I really want the finished object, but I guess I don't want it bad enough to actually power through and finish it. Not that I'm like that close to being finished, but I'm way more involved in it. I'm not going to rip it out. There's too much into it. Not going to do that. I just need to muster up some willpower and get a section of it done. And that's the thing with projects that you want finished, but you kind of are tired on. I think you have to break them up and give yourselves, I do. I have to give myself a little reward or a treat as an incentive to finish, or at least that section. Once I kind of get through, then I start, it's like I'm seeing the project again. I'm loving the yarn. I'm seeing the finished product, and then I start having more motivation. But to get back into it, I had to do that with my Night Nook Night Nook sweater that I'm about to show you. I had put it down because it was just plain stockinette, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to work on it. It's just boring, knitting in the round, yada yada yada. And I was like, I have to finish the sleeve by this date, or else. Because I have the mystery knit along coming up. I have a trip that we're going on that I'm gonna have to cast on something new, and I know the yarn. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna cast on. I know the yarn I want to use. I just don't know what pattern I'm going to use it for, because it could be a multitude of different things. So I'll probably discuss that next week, because next week will be my last week to podcast before we leave for our big trip. So let me show you my WIPs. First off, since I just talked about it, let me show you Night Nook. So Night Nook is a pattern by Stephen West, and it is a sweater, and it's an Aran weight sweater. So the nice thing about Aran weight sweaters is they go fast. You might be thinking, why are you knitting an Aran weight sweater when you live in Texas? Because A, I'm usually always cold. B, they go really fast, so I have gratification. Not instant gratification, but, you can knit 4 rows and have an inch done, which is really nice. And number 2, I do travel, and I do have opportunities to go where it's cold, so I know I will get use out of it. And the yarn that I'm using is more of a lighter spun wool, more of a woolen spun. I don't know. I know one of them is woolen spun. I don't know if the Ching is. Hold on. I have drop stitches. Let me pick those up real quick. I don't know particularly if the Ching is technically a woolen spun, but it's not a heavy yarn. So this whole sweater, I mean, we're getting close to being done. It's not very heavy. So I know I'll be able to get some good use out of it. And the other thing, I don't make my sweaters full length sleeves. I typically, this one I'm going to do bracelet length. I a lot of times do 3/4 length like that. This one I'm doing about here, so it hit right about my, can't talk. It will hit right about where my watch is. And for me, that keeps me from getting too hot. That's just a trick that I've learned. And I think it's more flattering. I don't know why. But I don't like how I look with long sleeve shirts. Go figure. Okay. So this is Night Nook. Ta-da! You can see this is so cool. And it'll lay a little better when it's blocked. But you basically have like a garter stitch yoke, striped yoke, and then when we went into the round, it switched over to stockinette. Don't mind the hole, that will go away when I weave in my ends. And then, whoops, this is the body. So from the underarm down, I have, I believe, 10 inches. I was measuring last night in the car. And I believe I'm going to go to 14. So I have to look on the pattern and see how long the bottom ribbing is. I may only need another inch or 2 before switching over to ribbing. I need to double check. But I went ahead and knit one sleeve. Ta-da! So I have one sleeve completed. That means I only have one more sleeve to go. And then finish the body. So I have made quite a bit of progress on this. Again, on the sleeve, I just measured it and it will hit me about bracelet length. So I didn't follow the pattern entirely. I also did not knit the cuff for 6 inches like the pattern says, because I didn't want an extra long fold over cuff. I just did about, well, I really eyeballed it. So I will just go back and count my rows to make sure it matches on the other sleeve. But this is about a 2.5 inch, I think. Yeah, about a 2.5 inch cuff. And it's in twisted rib, which is so pretty. And so is this fold over collar. I love fold over collars. They're so chic and, I don't know, professional looking. But yeah. So the yarn that I've used here, this light gray, which is my contrast color, is the Croft by West Yorkshire Spinners. It's a partnership with Jameson of Shetland, and they spin it up and dye it and everything, so it's called the Croft. So it's 100% Shetland wool. Now, if you look at the Night Nook pattern by Stephen West, the sleeve is supposed to be striped all the way down to the cuff. I don't like striped sleeves. I feel it's a bit, I don't know, comical looking. Anyway, so I just did the yoke striped. It's my sweater. I can do what I want. And then the this main color is Bluefinch. Let me get a close up. You can see there. Bluefinch by Ching Fibers. And as you know, it's one of my favorite kind of neutral colors that they do. I say kind of neutral because it's mostly browns with gray and taupe, and then there's little bits of blue. Some skeins have more of a dusty blue, and other skeins like this one in the main body has kind of some almost bright cornflower blue, but it's not bright. It's bright, but not bright. Because that makes sense. Okay. So, that basically, any Aran weight yarn you can use. You can also just be mindful of gauge and size down to DK weight if you wanted. I think it would be really cool as DK weight, or as a DK weight sweater. Really, all I would do is go down in needle size. I went down in needle size anyway, just because I know how I knit and how I wanted the fabric to be. Go down in needle size and probably go up one size of your actual knitted garment, so that you get the right. So that didn't make sense. Let's say it's an Aran weight sweater, but you want to knit it in DK, and you would normally knit yourself a size medium. Okay, so in DK weight, you're going to lower your needle size, but knit the size large. And that will get you, fingers crossed that you're on gauge, that will get you more of the measurement size of the medium, not the actual large, because you've gone down in needle size and down in your yarn weight. If that left you totally confused, check out Julie Weisenberg Coco Knits Sweaters That Fit, things like that on YouTube. That will help with that, or come on in and I can help you do some math. And I know me help you do math, but for whatever reason my gauge math and my knitting math works great. High school math, but anyway, yes, I can help you find a sweater, customize the sweater, and make it fit you. Don't worry about that. Okay, next project, moving on, is another sweater that I'm knitting called the Rose Cardigan. And this sweater is a stunning sweater. I talked about it last time. It's knit in basically 4 pieces, or what Andrea Mowry calls 4 quadrants. It is the Rose Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. And so you make these 4 quadrants, and then you stitch them together, and you pick up and knit a neckband, and you pick up and knit a waistband, and then cuffs. So I did complete one of my quadrants. This is, I believe, the back right. Right? Yes, this is the back right piece. So it's not been blocked yet. That's the thing with this one, because you're knitting it in pieces. You put your any live stitches on waste yarn, and then you go ahead and block them before you stitch them together. I have not done that yet. Once I get all of my pieces, knit, I will block them all at the same time and then seam them up. So this is the quadrant, and as you can see here, this is this beautiful twisted cable detailing, and this part, the wrong piece, but I'll just pretend. So this kind of goes up on your shoulder and down your arm as this cool detailing. And you can see it's a really elegantly shaped dolman sleeve, and it is an oversized pattern. I am still knitting myself the extra small, only because I don't want the 18 inches of positive ease that's called for in the pattern. So for me, knitting the extra small should give me about math. I'll still have about 14 inches of positive ease, roughly. But anyway, technically, I have fuzz in my mouth, sorry. Technically, I should have knit myself, I believe, the small, but I went with the extra small. So you can just see you have some neck shaping, but these beautiful colors. Look at this beautiful fade. Now, first glance, you might think, oh, is it just a 3-color fade? No, it's 4. But these 2 colors are so soft and subtle. You can kind of see it goes from very light speckling to a little bit darker and more blue. This has more teal. This has more blue. Beautiful. So this pattern is written for sport weight. Again, easily customize it to fingering weight. But sport weight is what it's called for, and this is the sport weight from Tola Matan. And we have two completed fades. This is the blue fade, kind of the blue-gray fade, and then we have a pink fade that's very, very similar to the original colors of the rose cardigan. And then we have a few other colors that you can mix and match and really create your own kind of custom, either blue to purple, purple to kind of a pink, all sorts. But again, we can also do this in fingering weight. Just have to do a little bit of math on your gauge. And, but yeah, so it's so pretty. So again, this is the first quadrant. I'm working on my second one now, and I've just switched and faded into the third color. So the quadrants themselves actually go pretty fast, and she includes a really great, I'll say like an Excel spreadsheet that you print out to keep track of your rows, because on not each row, but you have several different things to be keeping track of. What color you're working on or fading into, your increases, some on both sides of the top and the bottom, and your cable. So if you follow the written pattern, it's not impossible, it's just more difficult. It's like, because do this, and at the same time do this, and at the same time do this. Whereas if you have the spreadsheet, you literally just row 1, check, row 2, check, row 3, check, row 4, check. So it's really nice, and it makes the pattern go by so much faster, because I was thinking at first, I don't need the Excel spreadsheet, I'll just do it. No, it goes so much faster if you use the spreadsheet. So check, 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 and then refer back. That's really just for the quadrants, because then when your waistband, it's easy, cuffs easy, neckband easy. So yeah, I'm excited about that one. I will probably take that on my trip to work on. I don't know for certain though. My plan is to have Night Nook done before we leave, so that's pretty easy, because really I only have a few more inches on the body and then the sleeve, so that is definitely going to get done. The other project I have to show you today is it's also a Stephen West pattern. It's Choppy Waves, I think, because he has one that's Choppy Waves and Fading Waves, and this, I believe, is Choppy Waves. Fading Waves is out for everyone to enjoy. The Choppy Wave is one of the patterns that was exclusive to the Yarn Along, which will be released later. But they are pretty similar, just a different shape. Like the stitch patterning is the same, but the overall shapes of those two shawls are very different. So, anyway, I did make some progress on this. My needles are too short to really show you, but this is basically like the top, and then this, you can see it kind of curves around, and then it has this fun, zigzaggy thing. So I'm almost done with this third color, and then we do another strip of gray, and then we do the third color. Did I say third? This is the second color. Gray, and then third color, then gray again, and then we do like a chevron or a zigzag border with all three of the colors, which is going to be so pretty. This yarn is Life in the Long Grass, which we just got a huge shipment of. I'm going to show you. And then also Stephen West's Bicycle yarn, his own private label. Nobody wholesales that except him himself, but we do have similar yarns in the store. The Aroha is very similar, but you can also use basically any fingering weight yarn that you want. So we have tons, literally tons. Showed you guys all, so pause. That is all the whips that I brought with me today. And now I'm going to move in, it's already been 19 minutes, almost 20, to all the yarn to show you, which there is a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on all of that. last week's episode, I told you we were getting in shibui. We did. I'm going to show you what we actually got in. So, we will be expanding our shibui line over the fall and winter, and I mean in the spring or everything else. But right now we started off with Reed, which is the 100% linen, which is by far the softest linen you'll ever feel. If you've come in and you felt things like Lino or Proverbs is actually cotton linen blend, but Lino is 100% linen. It's a classic linen. It has a little crunch to it, but as you work with it and you block it and the more you wear it and wash it and all that stuff, it softens up over time. The cool thing about Reed is it's basically, I'll say it's like pre-washed. So it's rather than a spun construction, like linen is typically wet spun or dry spun, this has actually been, it's like an I-cord. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but you can kind of see here. It's like a little I-cord. So it's almost like pre-knitted, if you will. So it's so soft, and I'm trying to see if the microphone will pick it up. You don't hear the crunchy crunch. I don't know if that did anything, but it's super soft. Look at that. It's so soft. It's amazing. So this is the Reed. Hold on. So we have it in the colorway Pollen, which this is kind of giving a green undertone. There's no green. It's a true gold. Pollen, we have Bone, which is a really nice kind of ecru cream. Then we have White, which is a true bright white. Ash, which is a nice light gray. This is Mineral, which is a gray and taupe with a hint of a purple kind of undertone. Really pretty color. This is Tar, which is a dark, kind of a dark charcoal with maybe a hint of a blue undertone. Then we have Black, or actually it's Abyss, it's black. True black. Suit, which is a beautiful navy blue. This is Twilight, which is a really nice kind of periwinkle color. Great year-round color. And then we have Velvet. Now, Velvet, you'll know that is what I used, the Velvet of the Reed and Velvet of the Tweed Silk Cloud, which I'm about to show you. That's what I used to make my Tilled sweater. So Tilled is a wonderful pattern available on Ravelry or here in the shop. And it's a really nice deep raglan, 3/4 length sleeve top. Really great wearable almost year-round, especially here, because you are mixing one strand of linen with one strand of Silk Cloud or any mohair that you want. And it just creates this beautiful, soft, drapey, dreamy fabric, but because of the linen, it's not overly hot, and it's really breezy. It's just an awesome, awesome sweater. So, pretty much, I really tried to get combos of the Tweed Silk Cloud and Reed that went together. There are a few that don't necessarily go, but you can either use them with the Lino that we have or find a different mohair to go with it. But let me run through the Tweed Silk Cloud. So the difference between the Tweed Silk Cloud and pretty much any other mohair that I have on the shelf right now is the content. So I've talked about this last time, most of the mohair that we have on the rack right now is approximately 70% mohair, 30% silk. Some are 28, 72, some are like 35 and 65, but that's pretty much the thing. So with Tweed Silk Cloud, it is 65% silk and only 35% mohair. So you still get that mohair. Let me get one that has, you can see the halo on. You can see that. It still has the halo. Can you see that fuzzy bit right there? But it does not have the shedding, the intense halo, the intense fuzziness that the 70-30, 70 of it being mohair, has, because this only has 30% mohair. So it's a really luxurious drapey because of the silk, but still halo and fuzzy and soft because of the mohair. So this is a color called Tango, perfect cherry red. If you have like the Malabrigo colorway Ravelry red, or one of the cherry reds, or like Bollywood by Hedgehog, perfect red combination. Then we have it in Bone, which again is that kind of ecru, soft, natural kind of cream color. I'm really thinking I may knit myself a second Tilde out of the Bone. It's just so pretty. And I love neutrals. So we have the Velvet. This is the Twilight, that periwinkle. We have white. We have white. This is the Ash, the light gray. This is Tar, the kind of dark charcoal steel gray. Abyss, black. But you can see the little tweedy bits. It's so pretty. Then we have Dusk. This pairs pretty well with Suit. Suit doesn't come in the Silk Cloud base or the Tweed Silk Cloud, but it does pair very well. Oh wait, I take that back. No, that's not. This is Deep Water. This is a little brighter than Suit and just a hint of a teal. And then this is Cove, which is a really teal, green teal base. So comparing all of these, this is the Dusk, which is more of a gray navy. This is the Deep Water, which is more of a blue teal, or a blue with a teal undertone. And this is green with a hint of a blue undertone. This is Cove. So those are all the colors. Now, I'm missing pollen. Pollen is on back order, but I will be getting the pollen in as well. And that is all the colors right now that Tweed Silk Cloud comes on. As they expand the line, we'll of course get more in. And I do plan on bringing in the traditional Silk Cloud by Shibui because, again, it's a little bit different mohair than the other mohairs that we have stocked on the shelf. It is a 60-40, so 60% mohair, 40% silk. So again, it's higher on the silk content than the mohair of our regular mohairs that are the 70-30, but it would be more mohair than the Tweed Silk Cloud. Then I want to show you some of my yarn. I don't think I've shown it on camera yet, but I did talk about it. So I dyed up some yarn. I have other colors as well, but this is some of the new batch that I just brought in because I think I showed it before. So this is Julie. This is a nice dark, kind of a teal color. Then this is a new color. This is Croatian Sea. It's a nice cornflower blue. One of my favorites, Rich Latte. It's just a perfect taupey brown. And then this, I'll compare it. This is Silver Fox. So this is definitely more gray. Gray and cooler, richer and warmer. So Rich Latte, Silver Fox. This is Grace. And this is all on DK. This is Golden Pineapple. And this is Sugar Cookie. So this is kind of like the creme brulee color that I have, but this is definitely more beigey and kind of like a sugar cookie dough color with a little bit of yellow, like an egg yolk sugar cookie dough. Really fun. This is creme brulee. So here you can see they're similar but different. Creme brulee definitely has more of the cream and not yellowy. This has a little more of the yellowy undertone. It's more cream. That's the creme brulee is on single ply. My fingering weight is single ply. This is Frothy Waves. There's like 7 different blues in here. They're really pretty. This is my fall color, so happy about it. I gotta move this so you can see all the colors. I'm calling this Pumpkin Spice Cold Foam because that is my latest favorite drink from Starbucks is Pumpkin Spice Cold Foam Cold Brew. It just reminds me of when they pour in the pumpkin spice cold foam, which has kind of an orangey tone, and cream, and it starts like falling through the cold brew, and it kind of blends into this burgundy coffee color, and it just, So this one will kind of semi-stripe on you as well, but it's a beautiful color. And I will be dyeing this again. So I have, right now, I think 4 skeins left, but more will be coming. And then I have a new base that I got to play around with. So right now I only have 3 bases. Single ply fingering, my DK, which is 115 gram DK, so it's 250 yards. It's fairly generous. And then we just got this one in. This is so fun. So I only have 4 colors on it right now. But this is, I'm calling it pure tweed because it's a tweed base, but the nubs are all white. So this color I'm calling the anti-color. And if you know me, you know I am personally not a fan of pink, but for some reason I like to dye the color pink. And so I'm calling this the anti-color. And you can see the nibs, or the little nubs, they pick up a hint of the color, but because these little nubby bits are part cotton, it stays mostly white. It's really cool. Works out great too. And then I did a fade. So this is my color Serene. Serene is a very nice light blue with just a hint of like a steely, or not blue, light gray with a hint of a steely kind of blue color in there. And then we did this. So we have Serene. This is speckled Serene, so it's got a little bit of the dark speckling on here and a little bit of blue speckling. And then we have dark Serene, which is a dark charcoal and steel blue color. So we have our first fade. And I do plan on taking a couple of the other existing colorways and creating lighter and darker versions so that we have some fading within the line as well. What else? I have another table full of yarn here because we got our first box of 2 from Life in the Long Grass. So if you remember last time Life in the Long Grass came in, it blew out the door. So I contacted Caroline of Life in the Long Grass. I was like, we need your fall colors. And so she put me on the dye schedule, and we have 2 boxes coming our way. We have 1 box already, and we have a second box coming our way, probably coming next week. Just depends on customs. So let me show you what we have now. Some of the colors she consistently has year after year, so you might recognize a few of these colors from our last batch, but most of these colors are new. I'll tell you if we've had it in before. So, like this one we had in before, but we filled out completely. This is Beach Grass. This is a beautiful kind of a minty color with, look at these speckles. She does amazing speckles. They're just so crisp. Look at that. So cool. Beach Grass. All of this is her fine sock, which is a 75-25, 75% superwash and merino, 25% nylon. It blooms beautifully, and it's great for sweaters, socks, shawls, anything. It has a great twist to it. And you get 460 yards per skein. So it's a very generous fingering weight skein. Then we've also had this color before. This is Stellar. So if you're looking for that electric royal blue, this is perfect for you. This is a new color. It's so gorgeous. We've already sold most of it. This is Razul. Just a perfect, like maroon, mauve fall color. So pretty. This is Meraki, I believe. A dusty purple. So pretty. I'm going to say it's so pretty on all of these because it is. This is Antique. We've had this before. Nice dusty antique rose kind of color. This is Noon, a pale version. with a little speckling. This is Moorlands. We've had that before. That's such a pretty color. Oh, this one's so rich. This is Sphera, or Spharia. So pretty. This is a rich teal. And it's definitely more teal than it's showing up on camera. This is Lichen. This is Dragon Seed. It's a fun one. That'd be great paired with Bronze and Lugnasa. Look at that. That'd be so pretty. So this is Bronze, and this is Lugnasa. This is like fall in a skein right here, or what we dream fall should be in a skein. Because right now I think it's like 90 some odd degrees outside and not very fall-like. Even though there's pumpkins sitting out at the grocery store and on people's front doors, melting and rotting inside because of the heat. But yeah, welcome to fall. Not. But we can dream. Okay. Andesol. It's a gorgeous deep, deep, deep green with tealy bits in there. And there's yarn everywhere. This is Cantaloupe. We've had that before. Peach with fun pink and purple speckles. Oh, this one's one of my favorite. Corrode. Neutral, dark, but if you look at it, there's all sorts of colors in here. So there's like purples, there's bronzy browns, there's blues, there's grays, there's greens, there's so many colors in here, but yet it reads as like neutral gray black. It's so pretty. This is a fun one. It's called Mythical. It is not this bright in person. It is a brighter color, but it's not like Dayglow Neon like you're seeing in the picture. It's like you took highlighter yellow and dunked it in, I don't know, dirt and made it dusty looking, kind of. It's beautiful. This is Cactus Moon Soil. I used Cactus Moon Soil and this color, which is, or not this color, but a color very similar to this from her spring collection called, this one is called Autumn. I forgot what the other one was. But these two plus Dust from this one, from Ching Fibers, that was my Navali tea. So if you want to see how Cactus Moon Soil works up, take a look at that sweater. So those are those two new colors. We have, this is Night, which is just a nice charcoal brown. We have Hillside, beautiful greens. That's like Ireland in a skein. It's perfect. This is beautiful. This is Grit, nice neutral with fun little speckles. And then lastly, this is Tiller. So, like I said, there's another whole box coming its way towards us, so stay tuned for that. All of these are on the website. I'm working on getting all the pictures updated. Some of them I have pictures already. Some of them I need to get more pictures of, so stay tuned for that. All of my yarn is on the website. All of Josh's yarn is on the website. Tolomatan is all on the website. Pretty much all of the new stuff. The Shibui is on the website. Pretty much all of it is up on the website. So it's there. Also, quick update, events. So our next trunk show is October 19th from 10 to 4, and it's Panorama Yarn and Fiber from Houston. She is going to be bringing her gradient cakes. So if you are looking for gradient yarn, now is the time to put October 19th on your calendar and come see Heather for that. She is one of the only local people that I know of that does the gradient cakes and the gradient dyed yarn, and it's beautiful. It's stunning. What else? Then we have, that's October 19th. And then guess what? Ta-da! Stephen West is coming October 6th. So we have a all of the information now nailed down. Of course, if you signed up for the class, you have the class information. If you don't have it, message me or come into the shop. I'll give you all the details, what you need to bring, what time you need to be here, etc. Then please note that the shop will be closed for general public on November 6th until 1 p.m. 1 p.m., we're going to open up the doors, and that's when the meet and greet will start. So the meet and greet will run from 1 to 4. Bring your Stephen West books, bring your Stephen West shawls, your Westnet shawls, all that kind of stuff. Take your picture with him. Have him sign your books. If you happen to have merchandise from him, like tote bags, or you went to Amsterdam and got one of the Stephen and Penelope bags or something like that, go ahead and bring it. He'll sign it. All that fun stuff. Plus, we're going to have a trunk show in. So I am sure that during his meet and greet, he will be more than happy to help you pick out some yarn. I'm going to make sure of that. The trunk show is fantastic. I actually... the dyer and I were going back and forth and to fit me in and make sure that I would get it before Stephen was here, because she's kind of in the middle of a move and getting a new dye workshop all set up and everything. She's like, if you don't mind it early, let me just go ahead and finish it and get it to you now. That way there's no, is it going to make it in time? So I have the giant box at my house, and I will have to say the yarn is stunning, and I cannot wait to bring it up here, but I have to wait till November 6th because it's only fair. It's going to be so much fun. So, as you may know, if you come into the shop, I have been very busy in this back room, completely rearranging everything to fit more yarn in, because that's what I do. So come by. I actually have quite a bit of yarn discounted right now at the moment to make room for new yarn. So if you want some of the deals, come check out the sale bins. There's now, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sale bins. I usually have one. So come check it out. I'll make you a deal. Well, the signs say the deals, but some yarn is 40% off. So yeah, I need to move it and get rid of it so we can make room for new yarn that's coming. We just rearranged our needle display, so that's really nice, and I think it's a lot more user-friendly. Let me know. I think it is, but yeah, there's so much fun stuff coming in for fall. There's yarn on order, there's notions, there's fun accessories, there's bags, there's all sorts of fun stuff. So stay tuned. I'm super excited. You should be too. Come in, bring your knitting, come hang out with us. Don't forget, on Tuesdays we have late night. We are open till 8 p.m. I am going to continue this. I know it's been a little slow the past couple times, but I do want to continue having a late night open, so please come out and participate. Either come hang out and sit and knit, or if you want to come after work and just do a little shopping, come by, say hi, hang out, bring a friend, whatever. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else new. We did get a restock of Likey needles. I don't remember if I said that last time. So if you were looking for Likey needles, Likey sets, cords, things like that, they are fully restocked. I am also fully restocked on all ChiaoGoo items as well. Things like cable needles, tapestry needles, connectors, end cap, all that kind of stuff. It's all refreshed and all ready for you. So I need to get going and open up the shop, but thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. One other event. So November 6th, of course, is the meet and greet with Stephen West. There is no charge. Come, say hi, get your picture. You should come. Number 2 is December 13th, 14th, and 15th. That's a Friday, Saturday, and yes, a Sunday. we are going to be doing a special event with Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarns here at the shop. So if you don't know Tristan of Dragon Horde, she is an indie dyer, amazing indie dyer, and she's also a pattern knitwear designer. So she's going to be bringing some of her designs and a nice big bucket full of all of her yarn as well. And we're going to be doing a trunk show and then some sort of like special event as well. I'm thinking like a pizza night. I still have to work with her on the details of everything. And we will have that Sunday, we will be open some limited hours in the afternoon, just depending on her schedule and everything. So stay tuned for more details on that. I'm hoping to get that hashed out in the next couple weeks and have the information posted on the website for that. And of course, announce it here on the podcast, almost like here on the Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. This is a podcast. I need more coffee. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you'll subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. And we hope to see you in the shop soon, or online, or wherever you might be joining us in our wonderful community. And you are welcome here. Everyone is. So, we hope to see you. Bye-bye.